Have you ever noticed how some people speak, and suddenly the whole room pays attention? They don't shout. They don't use big, complicated words. They simply talk in a way that sounds clear, confident, and intelligent. And in a world where your voice is your identity, sounding smart isn't just an advantage, it's a superpower. Because whether you like it or not, people judge your mind by the words that come out of your mouth. One sentence can make you look prepared or lost. One conversation can open a door or shut it forever. But here's the truth nobody tells you. You don't need to be a genius to sound smart. You don't need perfect English, a fancy degree, or a powerful background. You only need simple communication skills that anyone, literally anyone, can learn. Skills that help you speak clearly, think faster, and express yourself with confidence. Right now, millions of talented people stay unnoticed, not because they lack intelligence, but because they lack the ability to express it. And that changes today. Because in this video, you're going to learn how to talk better, sound smarter, and communicate in a way that makes people respect you, listen to you, and remember you. This isn't about showing off. This is about unlocking the version of you who speaks with purpose, clarity, and certainty. The version of you who commands attention, not by talking more, but by talking better. Your words can transform your life, and today, that transformation begins. Part 1. Master the power of pauses. If you want to sound smarter, here's the first rule. Don't rush your words. Nothing makes a person sound nervous, insecure, or unprepared faster than speaking too fast. Fast talking comes from fear. Fear of silence, fear of judgment, fear that people might interrupt. But here's a secret that top speakers, leaders, and confident communicators know. Smart people don't fear silence. They use it. A pause is not emptiness. It's power. When you pause, you show the world that you are in control of your thoughts. You give your listener a moment to absorb your words. You create space, clarity, and impact. Think of great leaders, powerful speakers, or even actors delivering iconic lines. They never rush. They let every word land like a punch. They speak as if their voice matters, because it does. Pausing also gives you time to think. Instead of panicking for the next sentence, a 1-second pause helps you stay calm and organized. It prevents filler words like and you know from slipping in. It makes your sentence smoother, cleaner, and much more confident. That alone makes people instantly perceive you as smarter and more self-assured. Try this. The next time someone asks you a question, pause for 1 second before you answer. Just 1 second, you'll notice something powerful. The room becomes yours. People lean in. You suddenly look thoughtful, not hesitant, calm, not confused, smart. Communication isn't about saying more. It's about saying the right thing at the right pace. When you control your pauses, you control the conversation. And when you control the conversation, you control how people see you. Slow down. Breathe. Let silence work for you. Because sometimes the smartest thing you can say is said between the words. Part 2. Use short, clear sentences. If you want to sound smarter instantly, master this one principle. Simplicity is intelligence. Many people think sounding smart means using long, complicated sentences full of big words. But in reality, that does the opposite. It makes you sound confusing, unsure, and difficult to follow. The smartest communicators don't hide behind complexity. They shine through clarity. Short sentences show confidence. They prove that you know exactly what you want to say. When your message is clean and direct, People trust you more. They understand you faster. They remember your words longer. That's why experts, leaders, and great speakers use simple language, even when discussing complex ideas. They don't try to impress people, they try to make people understand. Long, messy sentences are often a sign of nervousness or unclear thinking. When your mind is racing, your mouth tries to keep up. That's when you ramble, repeat yourself, or lose your point. But when you train yourself to shorten your sentences, you also train your brain to think with precision. You become sharper, more organized, and more persuasive. Try this technique. After every sentence, mentally place a period. End it. Don't keep stretching it. Don't add extra words you don't need. Say one idea clearly, then move to the next. This simple skill transforms the way people perceive you. Short sentences hit harder. They create rhythm. They carry authority. They make you sound like someone who knows what they're talking about, because you do. Remember, people don't admire speakers who confuse them. They admire speakers who communicate with clarity and confidence. The shorter your sentences, the stronger your message. Talk less. Say more. That's how smart speakers win attention and respect. Part 3. Think before you speak. If you want to talk better and sound smarter, here is a skill that changes everything. Give your brain a moment to think before your mouth begins to speak. Most people respond instantly, not because they are confident, but because they are afraid of silence. They fill that space with rushed words, weak statements, and sentences they regret the moment they finish speaking. But smart communicators don't do that. They give themselves a moment, a tiny pause, a breath. And in that breath, their thoughts organize, their message becomes clear, and their confidence rises. Thinking before you speak does not make you slow. It makes you sharp. It makes you deliberate. It makes you look like someone who chooses their words with intention, not someone who speaks just to make noise. In conversations, people trust the person who responds wisely, not the one who responds quickly. When you take even 1 second to think, several things happen. You remove unnecessary words. You avoid sounding emotional or reactive. You choose the most precise and powerful way to express your idea. Your voice becomes steadier. Your message becomes stronger. And the person listening feels that you respect the conversation enough to respond thoughtfully. Try this. The next time someone asks you something important, try a simple 1-second mental filter. Ask yourself, what is the main point I want to say? Then speak. That single second of thinking turns scattered speech into intelligent speech. Remember, you don't need to rush to prove you're smart. In fact, the smartest people on earth, leaders, thinkers, negotiators, take their time. They pause. They think. Then they speak with clarity and confidence. A smart mind chooses its words. A smart speaker delivers them with purpose. And when you master this habit, every conversation becomes an opportunity to show your true intelligence. Part 4. Remove filler words. If you want to instantly sound more confident, intelligent, and in control, you must learn to remove one thing from your speech: filler words. Words like like, you know, actually, basically, literally, and sort of don't add meaning. They only add noise. And the more noise there is in your speech, the less powerful your message becomes. Filler words sneak into our sentences when our brain moves slower than our mouth. They appear when we feel nervous, unsure, or afraid of silence. But here's the truth. Every time you use a filler word, you weaken the impact of what you're saying. You make your sentence sound less certain. You make yourself appear less prepared. Even if your ideas are brilliant, filler words can make them sound messy and unorganized. Smart communicators understand this, and that's why their speech feels clean and sharp. They don't rush. They don't panic. They give their thoughts space to form. And instead of filling gaps with or like, they simply pause. That pause is far more powerful than any filler word. Removing filler words doesn't mean you should sound robotic. It means you should speak with intention. Replace filler words with silence. Replace hesitation with clarity. Replace nervousness with calm. Try this exercise. Record yourself talking for 1 minute. Listen carefully. Identify every filler word. Then speak again. This time, slower, calmer, with deliberate pauses. You will notice an immediate difference. Your voice will sound more mature. Your message will be cleaner. Your confidence will rise. People respect speakers who speak with precision. When you reduce filler words, you increase your authority. Your thoughts shine brighter. Your presence feels stronger. Speak with purpose. Remove the noise. Let your words carry the power they truly deserve. Part 5. Improve your tone and pace. You can say the smartest idea in the world, but if your tone is flat, rushed, or shaky, people will ignore it. Tone and pace are the hidden engines of powerful communication. They decide whether people feel your words or forget them. And here's the truth. How you say something matters just as much as what you say. Your tone is the emotion behind your voice. It tells people whether you're confident or unsure, excited or bored, calm or stressed. A steady, warm, and controlled tone instantly makes you sound smarter because it signals that you are grounded and self-assured. When your tone is calm, people feel safe listening to you. They trust your words more. They stay engaged longer. Your pace is equally important. Speaking too fast makes you sound nervous. Speaking too slow makes you sound unsure. The smartest speakers choose a balanced pace, slow enough to be clear, fast enough to stay engaging. They use rhythm. They use rise and fall. They use vocal variety to bring their words to life. Think of your voice like a musical instrument. No great song is played at one speed or one note. It needs flow, energy, and emotion. When you vary your tone and pace, your speech becomes more dynamic, more powerful, and more memorable. Here's a simple technique. Read any paragraph aloud, then slow your speaking speed by 10%. Not too much, just enough to sound more controlled. Then add intentional emphasis on key words. Feel the difference. You'll notice you sound clearer, more confident, and more in command. People don't only listen with their ears, they listen with their emotions. When your tone is confident and your pace is controlled, your words carry weight. You sound smarter, stronger, and more persuasive. Master your voice, and you master the room. Part 6. Expand your vocabulary. Naturally. If you want to sound smarter when you speak, you don't need to memorize complicated words or force fancy vocabulary into your sentences. In fact, that often backfires. It makes you sound unnatural or like you're trying too hard. The real secret is this. Expand your vocabulary in a natural, simple, and effortless way. Speak in a way that feels real, not rehearsed. Authentic, not artificial. Smart communicators don't use big words to impress people. They use the right words to express themselves clearly. And the more words you understand, the easier it becomes to choose the perfect ones. A strong vocabulary gives you freedom. The freedom to be precise, the freedom to be persuasive, the freedom to express complex ideas with simplicity. The best way to grow your vocabulary is not through memorizing lists. It's through exposure. Read more. Listen more. Observe more. Every time you hear a clean, powerful word you like, pause and understand it. Then use it in a sentence. The moment you use it once, it becomes part of your speaking toolbox. But here's the most important part. Use vocabulary that matches your personality. Don't say utilize when use is enough. Don't say commence when start works better. Intelligence is not in the size of your words, it's in the clarity of your message. Try this technique. Every day, learn just one useful word. Not a big one, just a better one. Replace very tired with exhausted. Replace very happy with thrilled. Replace very important with crucial. Small upgrades make a big difference. A richer vocabulary makes your speech smoother, sharper, and more expressive. It helps people understand you faster. It makes you sound thoughtful and articulate without trying to sound smart. Speak naturally, choose your words wisely, and let your vocabulary elevate your communication effortlessly. Part 7. Stop over-explaining. One of the fastest ways to sound less confident is by over-explaining. When you repeat the same idea 3 different ways, when you add unnecessary details, when you keep talking long after your point is clear, you don't sound smarter. You sound uncertain. And uncertainty weakens your message more than any mistake ever could. Smart communicators speak with clarity, not excess. They trust their words, they trust their point, and they don't feel the need to defend every sentence they say. Over-explaining usually comes from fear of being misunderstood, judged, or disagreed with. But here's the truth. If your message is clear, you don't need to explain it twice. Confident people don't try to convince everyone. They simply communicate their idea and let their words stand strong. The moment you stop over-explaining, everything about you changes. Your speech becomes cleaner. Your presence feels stronger. Your listeners start respecting your time and their own. Because people trust speakers who get to the point. They remember speakers who speak with purpose. They follow speakers who value precision over endless talking. Try this simple rule. Say your point in 1 or 2 sentences, then stop. If someone needs more clarity, they will ask. And when they ask, then you can add details. This shows confidence, control, and awareness. Here's another trick. After making a strong statement, pause. Don't rush to soften it. Don't say, "What I mean is," or "basic." Just pause. Silence shows certainty. When you stop over-explaining, your speech becomes sharper and more professional. You sound knowledgeable, not nervous. You sound prepared, not panicked. And you instantly give off a presence of intelligence and authority. Say your message. Trust your message. Then let your silence do the talking. Part 8. Use stories to sound intelligent. If you want people to remember what you say, connect with you emotionally, and instantly see you as someone who communicates with clarity and confidence. Use this powerful skill. Storytelling. Facts tell, but stories sell. Information informs, but stories transform. Even the smartest ideas fall flat without a story to support them, because stories make your message human, relatable, and unforgettable. When you share a short story, you show people that you understand the world, that you observe life, and that you can turn experiences into meaning. That is a sign of intelligence. Smart speakers don't just list points, they illustrate them. They bring ideas to life. They guide the listener from imagination to understanding. The best part? Your story doesn't need to be dramatic or long. It can be a simple moment from your day, a lesson someone taught you, or something you noticed about people. What matters is that it connects to your point. When you tie your message to a story, you make it easier for your listener to follow your idea without confusion. Think about great leaders, teachers, or communicators. Almost all of them use stories. Why? Because stories make people feel the message instead of just hearing it. A story is a bridge that carries your thoughts from your mind directly into someone else's heart. Here's a simple formula. 1. Make your point. 2. Give a short story that proves that point. 3. End with the lesson. This structure makes you sound clear, structured, and intelligent. Try it in your next conversation. Instead of giving a long explanation, give a short example. Watch how people instantly lean in. Watch how your message suddenly becomes more powerful and more memorable. Stories are your secret weapon. Use them wisely. They turn ordinary communication into smart communication. At the end of the day, sounding smarter isn't about using perfect grammar, complicated vocabulary, or speaking like someone else. It's about learning to communicate with confidence, clarity, and purpose. Every strategy you've learned, pausing, simplifying your sentences, thinking before you speak, removing filler words, controlling your tone, expanding your vocabulary, avoiding over-explaining, and using stories, works together to shape the way the world perceives you. When you speak with intention, people feel it. When you choose your words with care, people respect it. And when you deliver your message with calm strength, people listen. Remember this. Your voice is one of the most powerful tools you have. It can influence, inspire, motivate, and open doors that talent alone cannot. Many people are smart, but not everyone sounds smart. Many people have great ideas, but not everyone can express them in a way that captures attention. By mastering the art of communication, you separate yourself from the crowd. You rise. You stand out. You become someone others look to for direction, clarity, and leadership. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Speak a little clearer each day. Pause a little more. Think a little deeper. Practice a little longer. And watch how every conversation becomes an opportunity to elevate yourself. Your words are powerful. Your voice matters. And now, you have the tools to make it stronger than ever. Talk better. Sound smarter. And let your